It is Thoughtful Thursday, and on a spiritual note, as a person who is pursuing the ways of God, um, however imperfectly, but committed to, pressing towards the mark, committed to being perfected, committed to sanctification. Um, Throughout that journey, you come to recognize that the Word of God is true. In so many places where we read the Word and we know it's true, but when we really start to discern what is happening in our lives, sometimes, things move so fast, and we are in a world that has so many things we can choose to focus on that we oftentimes do not necessarily move with the awareness spiritually that we need to. But when we come to that place where we are moving in awareness of what is happening spiritually, even as we are, operating in the physical, even as we are going about our lives, doing the things that we are assigned to do, there's just a level of awareness that we just always walk around with when we get to that place in our walk with God. And I just thought about today, and I heard one of my favorite internet unks preaching or teaching about the fact that, when people are operating in wickedness, they are constantly looking for a target. They're constantly looking for someone to, you know, put their wickedness towards. They need a target basically, and when you find yourself being more spiritually aware, you become a lot more aware of when that is happening. And there is just such a grace that the Spirit of God can give us when we surrender to Him, when we pay attention and we allow Him to operate, so that we're able to, you know, thwart the darts of the enemy towards us, through, unfortunately, people who are wicked. And I think it's really good to start at the base level of the fact that we are all human beings. We are all made of flesh, but we all have free will. However, cognizant we are, whatever level of grip we each individually have on reality, we all have free will. And with free will, we can choose light or we can choose dark. We can choose to be a blessing to people, or we can choose to be people who are constantly looking for a way to diminish or curse other people. So people who are wicked, first and foremost, they are human, but they are choosing to be wicked. And when I say wicked, you are pretty much doing what the word says. You are looking to and fro, seeking whom you may devour. And, for a child of God, for a chosen one, or another way to think of a chosen one is one who has chosen to follow God, even though it's only by His grace that we choose to follow Him. But when you become more aware, at first it can be a little disheartening, because you wonder, like, well, why would somebody, or why would this person, when you become aware of things. And it's really something to navigate when you really become aware, and it really does push you and make you know what it means to lean on and depend on God, and not try to do everything in your own strength and through your understanding. Because there's a point where that awareness is heightened, and if you don't watch it, you can become very anxious. You can become very, like, just, I guess, down, almost sad that this is what people would choose, and then even more so that they would choose you as their target. But when we know that we're covered by the one who we serve, then we can begin to lean into that, and we can then begin to operate out of that with a level of confidence, with a level of clarity, with a level of humility, with a level of strength, with a level of grace, with the level of authority that we need to be victorious with with the tools that God has given us. And it's just something. It's just something. But Lord have mercy. In the past 2 or 3 years, as God has continued to work in my heart and humble me, He's also strengthened me in some ways that allow me to walk around it a particular way. However, imperfectly in my flesh, but with a particular authority in Him. Um, but that has not come through just waking up and skipping through the day with the sun shining and butterflies flying. That has come with some attacks. That has come with some intentionally targeted situations where I'm like, why in the world? Where I've always come out victorious, but at the same time, it's been like, well, Jesus, be offense here, all around me every day. But I'm grateful in this moment to know that no weapon that is formed against me will prosper. And people can say that's out of context. Well, if you understand exegesis, you understand that it is very much in context for me, because I am a child of the living God. And if I am covered and I am engaging in this spiritual battle through the spiritual, knowing that I wrestle not against flesh and blood, I'm just gonna tell it to you like this. You don't want to be someone who has chosen me as your target to exact your wickedness on. Because baby, when I tell you it ain't finna work, and when I tell you you will regret the day you ever decided I was gonna be your target, I mean what I'm saying. As children of God, sometimes our love, our grace, our compassion for others make us a little numb to the fact that we have been given power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, and nothing shall by any means harm us. That doesn't mean we don't walk through challenges in this life, but ultimately we win, and we gotta know it. We gotta walk with the kind of authority where the enemy is like, let me move on. Because she finna tangle me all up. Where the enemy is like, you know what? We came in one way, but if we don't leave her off, we finna go 50 different ways scattered. Because she ain't playing. We gotta be able to walk around with that kind of confidence. And be able to still be loving and kind. And that's what throws people off, because you still treat them with so much kindness and so much love, and you're so genuine. They don't